Alright lads, so earlier today we did get a bunch of information for the new banner and stuff like that beyond Bankai, Kisuke, and Shinji. Very exciting stuff. Before we do react to the gameplay later today, I do want to talk about some of the improvements coming to Epic Raids, because if you don't know, the Epic Raid update was actually part of the new update that we did actually just get early this week with the new level indicators and 100 times summon tickets, but it wasn't actually fully into the game until the end of the month for the new Epic Raid, the second coming, the Giant Hollow Second Coming Menos Grande. So yes, they actually just put on hold for an extra week. But going through a quick read through this before I actually started the video, this is looking to be very, very positive. Honestly, there's almost nothing to complain about. And this by far, besides the no level indicators, is looking like to be one of the better updates that we have received in a very, very long time. And it really is just disappointing that Caleb dropped the ball on the level indicators. Because if that was actually something they nailed this time around, this would have been potentially one of the better updates that we have received in Bleach Brave Souls histories. So let's talk about the new changes coming to Epic Raids. So the first one, availability times. To address the issues of players sometimes finding it hard to recruit enough allies for a full room, we have reduced the availability times as shown below, and we have made it so that normal and awakened Epic Raids are not available at the same time. And then they gave an example of the current schedule for the new Epic Raid. So the Giant Hollow Second Coming Menos Grande Epic Raid, the normal difficulty, is going to be available from October 31st to November 14th. So only here for 2 weeks, lads, which is very short for the most part, because normally these type of events, or the normal Epic Raid, for example, was here for 2 months. 2 months. Now it's only here for 2 weeks. Kind of crazy, right? And then after that, 2 weeks later, we're going to get the awakened version of the Menos Grande Epic Raid. So this is going to start November 30th and last until the 14th of December. So very big change here. Instead of having the normal Epic Raid last 2 months, it's only here for 2 weeks. And then there's going to be a gap between the Menos Epic Raid, 2 weeks by the way, and then we get the awakened one. So the big thing here that people are jumping at is that we're only getting 2 Epic Raids for 2 months, within 2 months, right? Which is just not the case. The whole point of this, right, is to spread out the Epic Raids to make them only make one available at any given time. Because quite frankly, lad, this is actually a very big problem that I don't think that many people are actually vocal about. I didn't even think of it as a problem until they actually mentioned it. But yeah, having too many Epic Raids available at any given time is kind of a problem, because some Epic Raids can just be very, very dead, especially on the weekends, for example, where you have 3 Epic Raids available and then 3 attributes available. So there's 9 possibilities or 9 rooms that you could join. When Epic Raid doesn't have 5 times runs, it makes it very boring, especially if you're maybe playing at the end of the month, or you're playing at a point where not that many people are playing. It can be quite dead. Even though BBS does have an active community, sometimes you can barely even fill up a room with 5 people. So I think only having 1 Epic Raid available for 2 weeks is actually the go-to. Now, what they don't mention here is the 2-week gaps between them. So as you can see here, Menos Grande is going to be here for 2 weeks. So from November 14th to November 30th, there's nothing. That's not going to be the case, right? So clearly what they're going to do here, but they haven't announced it yet, is fit in a past Epic Raid. So the best way to describe it is this right here. This is the schedule. This is what it should look like. So for 2 weeks, we're going to have a new Epic Raid for the normal difficulty. That then leaves. And then for the next 2 weeks, we're going to have a past Epic Raid come back on the normal difficulty for 2 weeks. And then after that, we get the awakened version of the Epic Raids for the new Epic Raid. So in this case, the Menos Grande, that's here for 2 weeks. After that, we then get the awakened version of the past Epic Raid that just returned a month ago, and that's going to last 2 weeks, and then the cycle is going to repeat again. We're going to get a new Epic Raid at the start of January, and then it's going to last 2 weeks, right? So that's what the schedule is looking like. They haven't announced the past Epic Raids, but there's no way they wouldn't have any active Epic Raid going on for 2 weeks. So for those complaining that we're getting less orbs or less just rewards in general, it basically averages out, because for the most part, a new Epic Raid would last 2 months. So let's just look at it the best way possible. In 2 months' time, we get 4 Epic Raids. In this case, even though they have changed the schedule just a tad bit, it still basically is the exact same thing. In 2 months' time, you get 4 Epic Raids. They're just going to be available in 2-week intervals. And I think, again, that's the best possible way to do it, because it means, one, more people are going to be playing 1 Epic Raid at any given time, because it's the only available Epic Raid. And in terms of content, it's going to be good to have, like, something new for the most part every 2 weeks, if that kind of makes sense, because even though it's going to be the same thing, it's just a new Epic Raid or a past Epic Raid, it's going to be nice to have something change every 2 weeks to keep people active and stuff like that, because again, with 5 times Epic Raids, imagine we had the old schedule, people wouldn't be playing Epic Raids after like 2 weeks, because you would have finished the shop. So I think this is actually a significantly better change if you look at the benefit, because 2 weeks is definitely enough time to max out a shop when you're given 5 times soul tickets, right? So I think this is a very good change, and again, if they keep the rewards the same with the 100 orbs from normal epic raids, 200 from Awakened, and the 5-star ticket, this is just going to be a good thing, and again, I don't think there's anything to really complain about that if that does end up being the case, and hopefully it is. After that, we have the new difficulty levels. So to further address the issue of players sometimes finding it hard to recruit enough allies for a full room, we have reduced the number of difficulty levels to 2. So very hard and ultimate. No longer is there a nightmare difficulty. Along with the adjustment to the number of difficulty levels, we have also made some adjustments to event orders and increased the number of epic raid medals and other items attainable as clearance rewards. So, to me, from what I'm reading here, lads, they've actually buffed the rewards that you get for beating epic raids. So a lot of us thought they might have nerfed it because of the, 5 times soul tickets. Maybe they nerfed it just to balance it just a tad bit. But from what I'm reading here, lads, it kind of looks like they're buffing the rewards while also giving us 5 times soul tickets. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly what this does mean. But again, this is a good thing. For the most part, one of the more annoying things of epic raid is maybe you didn't start doing it the first day and now your guild's farming it. You now want to farm with your guild, but now you have to go back and do the very hard difficulty, then the nightmare, and for the most part no one is joining you because people have moved on to ultimate, and then you can eventually do ultimate. So I feel like just having very hard and ultimate is definitely the way to go. Again, very positive change, and apparently they're buffing the rewards. Okay, I'm for it. We have to wait and see exactly how they're going to do that, but again, no negatives from what I'm seeing just here. And then they also mentioned here that we kind of already knew. Previously, to get into epic raids, you had to be rank 30 or above. Now, all you gotta do is just complete the first part of story. So this means more newbies can get into epic raids, which I know some people had a problem with, but again, keep in mind, lads, you can actually just make the level requirement to join your room level 30. So this really shouldn't be a problem with any of you that are worried about newbies joining your room. Just put the level cap to 50 and they won't join you. They won't even see your lobby, right? But for the most part, this is just going to mean modders can have an easier time actually getting into epic raid, because all they got to do is now just finish part 1. Which, hey, maybe for some of you it's a positive thing, because you can just get modders to clear your epic raid a lot faster. In addition to that, as they did mention, the most exciting thing, 5 times soul tickets. To make it easier to power up your familiars and characters, we have added the option to use 5 soul tickets in one go when entering an epic raids. Room owners and guests can both choose to use 5 soul tickets by simply checking the box on the create party screen. You must clear the epic raid once to unlock the option to use 5 times soul tickets. So again, very positive change. You're now going to be able to breeze through epic raid. And again, keep in mind, if you are someone that does buy the Cons Bonanza Pass, you should be getting 6 runs for your 5 soul tickets. So it's again making the Cons Bonanza Pass significantly more worth purchasing if you do play epic raid a lot. So very positive change again, 5 times soul tickets. It's just going to speed up the process to actually max out the shop and stuff like that. And again, they have lowered the availability times to only 2 weeks, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem to max out the shop, right? You should be able to do that pretty much in one day if you really wanted to. And then lastly, they mentioned the medal exchange lineup. So in line with the adjustments to the epic raid difficulty levels and the implementation of the option to use 5 soul tickets, we have made some changes to the lineup of the epic raid medal exchange. We have added various items needed for transcendent, such as essence scrolls, large attribute scrolls, and golden affiliation scrolls. And we have also added link swap potions to help when powering up a character's link swap potions, or slots, right? So this right here, we have to wait and see, because this could be a bad thing when they say they made some changes because of the introduction of 5 times soul tickets and the changes. They could make stuff more expensive, they could make it less expensive, they might have lowered the stuff that we could get. This is the one thing I'm a bit iffy about. Again, most of these up here, the 5 times soul tickets requirements, the difficulty levels, and the availabilities only look like positives. For this one, the exchange shop, we have to wait and see if this is going to be a good or a bad thing. Personally, I think it's going to be just fine. Kind of funny how they mentioned that they added scrolls and essence and stuff like that, like they didn't already have them. Kind of funny. And the link swap potions it's cute because we need super link swap potions. We don't need link swap potions. We have potion characters. We have 2 times IZ like almost every 3rd month or something like that. Normal link swap potions aren't the problem. And you're probably only going to be able to make us buy like 300, which isn't going to help at all. These should be super link swap potions in my opinion. I don't know why they add this now as if it's helping. It's not helping. No one can even buy them. So overall, lads, that was the quick breakdown of the new changes coming to epic raids. Again, very positive changes. I just want to make sure some of you lads are aware. From the looks of it, They aren't nerfing the rewards. The main thing to take from here is this is the new schedule. So every 2 months, we still have 4 epic raids. They're just spacing them out to make it feel like we have more content for the most part. And to make sure that with the new addition of 5 times sold tickets, you don't just have nothing to do for the next 3 or so weeks, right? Because again, remember, if we had the old schedule where a normal epic raid, a new one is here for 2 months, imagine you max out the shop in 1 day and you have nothing to do for the next 2 weeks. So I do think this is probably the best thing they could have done. And yeah, let me know what you like to think about this in the comments below. Again, I think the only thing to look out for here is this right here, because again, they could nerf the rewards, they could maybe lower it, but overall I think these are just improvement, because that's the whole point. Improvements. They aren't here to hurt us, they're here to help us. Even though it does feel like Caleb like to hurt us a lot, I feel like most of these changes are going to be very positive. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.